Hi everyone, in this video we are going to talk about CSS syntax. So far we are done with the HTML section of this tutorial series. From now on we are going to talk about HTML as well as CSS. So we are not just going to cover HTML, we are going to cover CSS as well. So what is CSS? CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. So far, whatever the lessons were that we studied, we didn't style any of them. So we didn't change the font size, we didn't change the color, we didn't add backgrounds. So we didn't do any of the aesthetics that a website requires. So that is all CSS. That's why I postponed all of that styling to CSS. So you have a concrete idea of what HTML is, and then what CSS is, and which parts of this web development HTML is going to take on, and which parts CSS is going to take on. So first, the first idea, the first concept that you should know in CSS is that everything in CSS is a box. So you need to keep that in mind if you want to master CSS. Now, HTML is very, very, very simple to understand and even to master. But CSS is a little bit more complicated. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not going to be as easy as HTML. But if you understand like 3 or 4 basic concepts, fundamental concepts of CSS, you will be able to master it quite easier. So first thing, everything in CSS is a box. Now, cascading style sheets, it means that the style sheets, the rules or the properties that we apply on HTML elements, they come in a cascading way. It means from top to bottom. Now, before diving into what CSS syntax is, let me show you how you can connect your HTML with CSS. So before applying any CSS styles, you need to have some sort of an HTML element. So I'm going to create a title and I'm going to say hello world. Now this is our HTML element. The first way that we can connect, that we can apply a style on any HTML element is using Inline Css. This is not recommended. In fact, this is a very, very bad practice, but you can do that. So I'm going to zoom in for this one a little bit. So within the opening tag of any HTML element, you can just go ahead and you can write style. Now within these quotes, these double quotes, is the realm of CSS. So you can grab any property and you can apply any property, and this style will only be applied on this H1. Now let's say we want to change the color of the font. Let's say we want to change it to something called blue. We are going to dissect what this color semicolon blue, what this is going to mean, what this actually means in just like a couple of minutes. Don't worry about that. So this is the first way that we can apply a style on any HTML element. This is called inline styling. Inline styling is considered a highly bad practice. You should never do inline styling. So this is the first way. Let me go ahead and let me create a paragraph, and I'm just going to say lorem whatever. Now we have a paragraph here. The second way that we can apply CSS styles is within the head section or within the head element of our HTML document. So in here, you're just going to say style, and within the style, whatever you apply is going to be, whatever you write is going to be applied on any HTML element that you select. So from now on, this is internal CSS. This is used whenever you have very few lines of CSS code. You don't need to create any other CSS file. You could just do it within your HTML head section. So within the style, what you're going to do here is, first you need to select your HTML element, which element it is that you want to style. Then you need to decide what styles you are going to apply. So I want to style the paragraph element. So we are going to select this paragraph element using its element name. What is the name of this paragraph element? It is P. So I'm just going to write P. And then you're going to open up a pair of curly braces. For better readability purposes, this is just a preference. You're going to hit enter, and now you're going to apply your styles. So what do you want to do with this P? What styles do you want to apply on this? Let's say we want to add a background color. Don't worry about this. We're going to cover all of them. let's say we want to add a background color of gray. So now this style will only be applied on which element? On the element that we have selected, and that is the P element. And when I save it, you can see that the background color is now gray. So now I'm going to zoom in once more in here, and we are going to dissect this CSS rule. So in CSS, we have rules. Each rule, this entire thing that I've highlighted, this is called a CSS rule. A CSS rule is consisting of two major parts. First is a CSS selector. This P is actually a CSS selector. We're going to talk about CSS selectors a lot. By the end of the CSS section of this tutorial series, you will master CSS, and these things, all of them will become second nature to you. That is my promise. So this is a CSS selector. CSS selector is used to select a specific HTML element that we want to style. Very simple. The second part of a CSS rule is called a CSS declaration block. Whatever this curly braces and whatever comes within it, they're called a CSS declaration block. Within a CSS declaration block, we have CSS declarations. Very simple. Each CSS declaration is consisting of a CSS property, semicolon, and a CSS property value. So this is a CSS property, this part, before the semicolon, this part that I've highlighted, and then this part, gray, is basically that property's value. And you need to terminate all CSS declarations with semicolon. Sorry, this is colon and this is semicolon. So let's go over this one more time. We have a CSS rule. A CSS rule is comprised of a CSS selector. There are many types of CSS selectors. We are going to cover them. And then we have the CSS declaration block. Within the declaration block, we have CSS declarations. Each declaration is consisting of a CSS property, colon, and property value, as well as semicolon. This is what terminates the declaration. If you don't provide it, do not provide it, CSS declaration will not be terminated. So we also have comments in CSS, as well as the same comments that we had in HTML. Their syntax is a little bit different, but we do have those comments in CSS as well. For some reason, this is not responding. Okay, there we go. So a comment in CSS is created in the same way as a comment in HTML. You just have to grab Control and hold Control and press the forward shift, or just type out the syntax. Whatever you write in here, it will not be rendered to the page. So this is my very first comment. So this is called a CSS comment. Very first CSS comment. So that's going to be it for this lecture. In the next lecture, actually there is one more thing that I would like to cover here as well, which I did not show you, which I should show you. There are three ways of applying styles. The first one was inline, which is a bad practice. So we have inline CSS is bad. And then we have internal CSS, which is used for short code. Okay, so I should for less code. What should I write here? For when we have less CSS, when there are a few CSS lines, then we use internal CSS. The reason that we don't use internal CSS for like our big project or for large projects is because our HTML file will get very messy. It's going to be very difficult because when you do styling with CSS, they are going to get more than 200 or 500 or maybe even greater than 1,000 lines of code. So having 1,000 extra lines of code in HTML will make your project very difficult to maintain. That's why we need to come to our third way of writing CSS, and that is external CSS, which is highly recommended. And this is when you create a separate CSS file, and within that file you store all of your CSS. So this 18.css syntax.css is actually a CSS file. A CSS file is created by writing the .css extension, adding it to that file. Come on, buddy, it's very slow. My computer today, it's very slow. It's not really responding very well. You can see Windows is not responding. So I'm just going to say, let's reopen it. Okay, here it is. There we go. So the way that you can create a CSS file is the same. So the name doesn't really matter. You can provide it any name you want. In this case, it is 18.cssyntax.css, but .css is the CSS extension. So what you're going to do is, for HTML, you're going to write .html. For CSS, you need to write .css. Then you will have created a CSS file, and the icon is like this number sign for CSS. From now on, each HTML file will have at least one CSS file where we are going to store our CSS for that HTML file. I'm going to zoom out a little bit once more. So how can we do this? Now, before the title, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit a couple of spaces. And here we're going to create a link element or a link tag. This is going to have a relationship of style sheet. Of course, this has to be a style sheet. Then we need to provide it with the href. And the href is the address where the CSS file is stored. Now, this address is the same as HTML images that we talked about, or HTML anchors that we talked about. If they are in line, it means that they are within the same directory. The only thing that you need to do is actually provide it with the name of that file. The name of the file is 18. And you can see that it provides you with a pop-up, 18.cssyntax.css. Now, if you click enter, click on it and save it, now your HTML file is successfully connected to this external CSS file. Now, there is also an idea in programming, and that is separation of concerns. And that is when you need to separate all of your HTML code from all of your CSS code and from all of your JavaScript code. It is not a best practice if you combine your HTML with CSS with JavaScript. You're going to end up with a messy code, which is going to be very difficult to maintain and scale. So I'm going to create another element here, and I'm going to say section. I'm going to provide it with an h2 as a title. And I'm going to say CSS rocks paragraph. Let's just provide it a lorem 50. There we go. So now how can we select this section and how can we style it? Let me put this right here. Okay, let's save this. Where is our section? Let's open it up with live server 1 once more. There we go. So CSS rocks, and because it has a paragraph, this style that we have here has been applied on this paragraph as well. Okay, so I'm just going to provide this. You know what? I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to keep it like that. Now, the way that we can style any element, again, is first you have to select it. Then you need to provide it with styling. And I'm going to say background color. Let's provide it with light blue. And when you save it, now you can see that that style has been applied. I'm going to comment out this style that we have applied here. You can comment out CSS styles. In that case, they will not be applied. And when you save it, now you can see we have the section that has a background color of light blue. Now, this is a better approach to styling HTML elements with CSS, because all of your CSS will be contained within one file, and you know, okay, which styles are applied on which elements. Now, I've covered a lot in this lecture. From the next lecture onwards, everything is going to make a lot more sense. So that's it for this one. See you in the next one.